Hello. This is my natural hair color. I didn't even know it was this dark, but when you cut off the bleach part, and you really can see it. Um, Denby arrived today. This is stoneware from England. It, I got both veranda and terrace. Um, it's a 60s or 70s arabesque floral stoneware. I've not really been attracted to stoneware because I thought it was too heavy to use every day, but I do like this personal size tray. I think it feels very stable for stoneware and for a tray, and I really like it. I like it for this use. Um, the measurements were off, and that was part of my reservation. Online, they say that this mug holds 10 ounces, and I thought 10 ounces is going to be too small. I just measured it. It holds 2 cups or 16 ounces. Big. Put your schnauzer in there, your snout. Put a whole handful of biscotti in there at once if you wanted to. I was marveling. The diameter of that flower perfectly fits the diameter of the mug. I mean, it's kind of a cute personal detail that if I were doing pottery and I was making something for myself, I would probably configure that in there just, as a way of, even if it were subconscious, because you're playing with shapes and shapes relate. So that's something I would probably do in my doodles or if I were to put art on pottery. And I think that's part of why I like the draw of this is besides reminding me of my sister's era. She was a beet digger. She was a hippie flower child. Uh, it has a lot of natural conviviality about it. Its graciousness is just being earnestly open and friendly. Very user friendly, you know? Capiche? My hair looks a little, seen in a different light. Yeah, there are some edges on that, but I have to say, it was a little bit in response to the fluffiness that I just felt was coming to here and going, and I was like, I don't like that. So I've got edge now. It'll grow out and soften. If I absolutely hate it, I'll be wearing hats more often than not. I didn't go to I didn't go to get a croissant because it's just a little bit chilly out there. It's got a wind chill. And my toes were getting tingly. And I thought, you know what? They're tingly now. Let's not take myself and my toes exposed to the wind for a stroll. Let's get him back in here, make your own chai tea, and the Denby arrived today. So that was pretty fun. My reservations in playing with this, like, would I really like them? Is it too folky? Because it's got this little tipped edge that's in rust, and rust makes me think of, let's see, growing up in grade school, I like to wear three-piece. I like to wear pants, vest, and a blazer. That's what I like to wear. And corduroy. That's what I like to wear. I like to wear the little three-piece suit. But I did have a cute little plaid one too. I kind of liked, the top matching the bottom, and if it was a two-piece or a three-piece, totally workable. It reminds me of that era because I had rust corduroy three-piece, and so it's got a dated appeal like wood paneling. And so I was kind of asking myself, is that too folksy in terms of stuffy, or is it tipped towards quaint? I mean, does it have appeal? And so I looked at this several times and I couldn't quite, you could see the folksiness where it's almost like old folky, on the shape of this. It's tipped and it's got that a little, there's something about it that's saying this is from a tender yesteryear, even though I bought it now. Its design speaks to a different time. I have to say, though, holistically, I find it does have appeal. It's very comfortable to use, and I don't know. I can identify with the folksy elements that might seem a little stuffy. They don't actually land that way for me because I have an affinity with that gesture. I think with both my sister and, the things it reminds me of. The tipped rust there, I had a rust corduroy suit. Three-piece. And I had several of them growing up. Not all rust. A navy with polka dots. And red buttons. That was my third grade photo. I got a zit, I got a pimple on my chin the day of photos when I was 8 years old, and I smiled and it made that stretch, so I'm smiling like there's a foreign object on my chin. That's when I got my first pimple. It's totally fun. What I like about it, it fits my apartment. Everything's it's open cupboards, easy access. It's a personalized tray. I'm not like, all right, I'm here. It means I'm going to use it a lot. And it's friendly and comfortable, and it looks like it's going to be very durable and sturdy. And I don't notice the weight. I got the idea, the notion to think about weight in your dinner, your service plates, your dinnerware, through Andy. Andy was like, I don't like stoneware, it's heavy. And I'm like, you know what? I think you're right. It is heavy for every day. I hadn't thought about that. I had got my Seasons Port Myron. I got that before the conversation with Andy, but there's been several times that I went shopping with Andy to get plates for his place, and that was one marker that he looked for, is like, I don't want stoneware. But he did buy something that was a good value online, and then it chipped like nobody's business, and he was pretty much not happy about that, not buying in person. So he could really investigate. You can doll up the embellishment and be like, wow, that's so me, that's terrific, I'm gonna get it. And then you're like, it may look great, but you wash it and it chips and it doesn't, all of this. he bought, he did entertaining, and he had a bunch of chip dishes in no time. So we bought an investment to cover, a number of people per plate, and all his plate had dishes. Him, he's tossing things around. You want a down comforter over there? Are you liking cashmere today? Are you for cashmere Actually, that's my cashmere, but I'm more than happy to share with you, because you've already broken in my down comforter, as you know. So let's try this. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Let's put you right in there. Let me put you right in there. Oh my goodness. Look at that service. You're in your own little down cloud. Anyway. Let's see how biscotti works. I think this one's toffee. Little toffee. Love the tray. So cool. All right. Should get cooking today, I suppose. I was going to speak about cooking. I think the metaphor for dough and yeast is, well, I think it's aptly expressed. H stands for hydrogen. I think it's aptly expressed by myself in terms of the dynamic that you can see on my parallax, and therefore you can see in the competitive marketplace thief-end parallax. It's all frame and doft, stupid, to toot toft, for no reason, thief-end. You didn't bring the desire to toss and then get it back, okay? Nor the remarkable courage when you're presented with it. So H is hydrogen. Hydrogen is the most abundant element that exists in the universe. It doesn't actually exist on Earth. It is my contention we need to breathe it, inhale it, inspire it, speak it honestly first. Ta-ta, thanks, tag, ag, the judge and the agriculture to land and stage, endow. O, W-E-A-D. O, W-E-I-D. Lost my train of thought. I have to find it. Yeast and dough. Ye is thou, Y-E, that means thou. As ass, your ass, even your ask, your night. To the time, pass. To the imp, past. To the MVP, most valuable player, past. ST, that's a street. Let's see. You've never had in the competitive marketplace, thief-end, the right two people speaking to each other. So everything that you write online to ta in taint and TP pot and paint is hyphenated. you're doing it in time to say, thanks, I'm not that time, okay? But you're all frame and doffed, even though you're posing as the love, you are frame and doffed down with wart again, okay? Your ag is culpable to the malfeasant land, okay? Your judge is not the heir, H-E-I-R, and he can't repair, right, H-E-R-E. E-R-E means before, okay? He does not make his money by bringing the honest virtue, by being it to adore, okay? So we should get that damn straight. Damn Mrs. Straight as well. What else? You've only sold fraudulent emotions. I would have. No, the opportunity is now to endow your value to be sought as zero. Zero innocence and reflection by thinking of two in process and product, even through. Your dough hand, your money, your head is hyphenated, and it's convenient for you not to know better, okay? And not to do the sussing and to think that you paid an honest value, ... for no reason thief end, dead again, okay? That's not good enough right here, where I'm selling law awareness as the love. That would be T-H-E-I-R-D. Zero, W-A-R-E-A-D. Okay? At the very least, I'm selling the value to me. Tome, T-O-M-E, T-O-M, parentheses, B-E, parentheses, A-D. The Tomb is my novel. It is also my testate, my living will. There's a problem with everything you're writing out there that's hyphenated and you're not aware of it. And you think that's producing value in your name because you're casting a fraudulent image on me, on my eyesight. Okay? My eyeballs are neurally connected to my forebrain. And so are yours if you want to. So, sorry. It's almost 1 o'clock here. This is the first thing I've had all day. The problem I see in a competitive marketplace thief end, where you don't understand the ends are thief end to receive, debt to receive as they deceive end, okay? Debt again. Your law, -T, has never asked for value. T-H-E, parentheses V, A, L over L, U, E, W, E, A, D. Your law-t has never asked for the evalu or the healing of you, ad, Tao, with we wed, we be, the web, dB, decibels, okay? And in that value of what you see and hear, and it is what it is, then you make the resonant of 0 mean something also. I don't mean also. I become aware of my own gaps if I'm speaking regular concourse because I've designed my language to speak to the gaps, but I think it's the perfect unarticulation of doing what the competitive frame end off thief end is doing. You're forging a third person presence that is God, that is as daft as you are, is as stupid as you are. And this Jesus is saying that's not good enough here. In fact, this Jesus can supplant your Jesus for no reason. Thief end, okay? Which is also another curious thing, that your competitive marketplace thief end and those people that aggrandize God for no reason, thief end, okay, know damn well that Jesus Christ isn't here, okay? And through their own actions, he wouldn't be through them either, okay? So we've got a reversal of what the law and the form does. I've turned it inside out. The forum is fora, it's outside. And I get to use my eyeballs for a reason, he-vent. And no, I'm not asking spermission. Sperm and permission. No, I'm certainly not. Because by my own inherent design, doth stupid can't proclaim he brought anything to do with me, okay? So quite accidentally, I am pointing out I don't need doft, I don't need stupid's seed to conceive. Which goes against the whole bilge of what women are fed in religion, which is to be the vessel of reception of your stupidity with no end. Okay? And that God will save stupid. At least that's what stupid says to me. And I'm like, you need to go somewhere else, vet. Okay? You need to go somewhere else. You know? Kind of tired of babysitting the vets here. You didn't lay down a life, you laid down a life. And it was a slice of life, okay? Unless you want to see it through, all right? So while you get, you know, the glory of not being capable to produce, I get stuck with looking at you. What you continue to do and think that you have something to add. Okay. And how glorious it would be to touch your nad. You can see the thought brings out quite the embellished nag, which brings me back to the theater of the absurd, sire, SIR-E-D. Law is in place so the women can only nag the man in the home, okay? And you have to understand that value makes it so that we as women can't cut on both ends, okay? We can't get our storyline together. Why do I bring that up as an articulation of something that needs to be done to be effective? because that's what's already going on in the competitive marketplace for no reason thief end. You've got daft, stupid as your husband in the house saying, well, we need to defer to the law of the land. But the law of the land is there to protect daft, to stay daft so that he can toot toft, so he can get rich for no reason thief end, so his wife thinks, I've got a great catch, okay, for her insolence. Quite frankly, she got married and didn't know better, and by my account, doesn't seem to want to know better. Okay, so marriage provides this sort of convenience to be oblivious in your bullshit. You don't have to. You think you already got your love made, so what? You're not looking for it. Okay. You think you're already the virtue, and you brought it to the table, stable. Well, my account would suggest you haven't thought it through. Ever. Okay? And I'm doing the work for you. And I'm doing the work for your law of love of the couple pled doft. Pled and legged doft. Okay? So, let's see, what else? Yeast and dough, you're H, you're inhaling the H, and you're like, I'm not that, I'm not that. But please understand, if you're reasoning with a gun, it's not a real conversation, even. It's not a conversation in life as desire, even. And your law, -T, is not providing that for you to carry. Okay? So what I'm seeing is what I've been trying to do in my performance art as a young person was feeling this need, this inclination to put my mind and body together and put that in the marketplace as my image. And what I'm seeing, the gesture, is you've got an image, say Pamela Anderson and her big tits in form-fitting clothing, okay? And high fashion, okay? And how does she get the money for the high fashion? Say most anything accompanied her big titties, okay? I would say that's probably how she gets her money, all right? You could just make up whatever you want, okay? Like Kim Kardashian whips out several different costumes for Halloween, and they're all about expressing her tits in a picture, in an image, okay? And then she garnishes it with an semblance of what sounds like reason because it's grammatically correct. She knows how to put a noun and verb and an adjective together, okay? But she says, I'm just into empowering women, and so I selected women to empower. Well, you know, you selected, your first inclination was to show your tits, and then add a garnishment of something that sounded feasible, okay? Kind of really over that. I'm really over that. I don't want to see false tits with no real estate. I don't see why I need to look at it. Quite frankly. Okay. What falls in the gaps with that behavior? Tits, but no real ass. Asked to last. The class asked the night to last asked. Time for completion, even. What does it do? You're setting up a false paradigm in your wake. So you're casting an image. Okay. and you get known for it, and what do you get for it? Well, you look like you got the covetable position of expression. Uh, Money is thought to be a vehicle for expression, okay? You get to express, you get to change your fashion and your image whimsically and go places and fraudulently belittle yourself because it suits you. And the more that you do it, the more money you get, okay? And people look at you and at the ease that you have, and they're like, that person did it. And I get to go to a stupid ass job with the ceiling at my kneecaps, so I have to hunch over so I don't make anyone feel bad. Or is that badly? Or does it even fucking matter on your end? Okay. Well, you know, going back to how I lost my virginity, a guy was going to make me a model. He held up a calendar. I help these girls get there. I could help you, okay? I know, you know, take photos and we'll get, you know, your portfolio. The thing that I didn't mention is I stopped seeing Ron Brandt, I think. Well, he I don't even know if he's alive. He was at this point, was a very heavy smoker. Like, he never left. He had this, like, a blazer, a little throw-on jacket. He had, like, several packs of cigarettes in his jacket. He didn't leave the house without being fully packed and stacked with cigarettes. I could tell you the making love experience, like, I'm just, like, licking an ashtray and I don't even smoke. So, you know, it's just, the person fumes with it, okay? I hate to think back, it was probably that bad. Not just the taste of the mouth, just the whole, yeah, I was really green. Okay, I was really green with naiveness, etc. So, yeah, it's embarrassing to look back. I was there as that position, and I was stupid, and I went for it. Okay, and I was stupid, and I still exited stupid. Okay. But the thing is that I started to wise up on two counts. One was the church. If I didn't repent and ask for forgiveness, they wouldn't let me back in. And I'm like, but I was stupid, and you're not setting me up for anything except to fall on my fucking face again. Okay? In this world. And there was something that was missing in the connection when I'm talking to the bishop, and I'm like, I'm not really getting any value of feedback that I can go on or grow on, okay? I don't get this conversation. It's not resonating with me at all. So I went my own way to find resonance, and basically had to start building my spine in philosophy from the beginning and one brick at a time. And what I mean is, when you're in a religion, I don't know if all religions do this, but I bet you they do. The idea is to serve something greater than yourself. So to do God's will. So your spine is basically God's will, and God's will is whatever the church, the climate, the association puts into your spine, okay? So when I decided I'm not going back to the church, what I found myself was wafting because what was difficult to uh, access was I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know myself. I didn't know what I wanted. And that left me feeling very vacuous and I'd say somehow disappointed and chagrined at myself. I'm a grown woman. I don't know what I want. So there's this disparity between all my life, I've been told to do what God wants me to do, and I thought I was doing what I wanted to do, which was God's will, and now you take that and remove it, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what I don't know anything about me at all, and that seems like a tragic loss of consciousness, okay? And I remember going back to church and I missed the overarching feeling of community, but I couldn't watch those people on the podium and think that we had anything in common. In their ignorance, and I was standing outside of it, I'm like, I can't go back. I can't go back. I miss the community, but I can't go back. Okay. And let's see. I got off track a little bit. Falling through the gaps. You put your titties out there as a way that you've afforded with your virtue is false. Ron Brandt took pictures of me. I stopped seeing him. The police contacted me, I don't know, half a year later, saying, we've got some pictures of you, and we just arrested, blah, blah, blah. He's got pictures of another girl. So we want to talk to you about how he got your pictures. And so Ron Brandt had naked Polaroids of me. He had naked Polaroids of another girl. So he basically did the same spiel for another girl to get naked pictures. The officer told me that for whatever reason they found the photos in, he kept them in a cereal box. He kept his naked Polaroids in a cereal box. I guess they frisked his cupboards. Okay. Or maybe the other woman knew where he was stashing them. I didn't report him to the police because I thought I was stupid. I fell into it. Part of the disparity was by my own ignorance and going with it and still being ignorant and losing my virginity to a person who was probably at least double my age at the time, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, I was out of college. It was a while, actually. I was beyond college, and if he wasn't double my age, he kind of looked it because he smoked a lot. I think he had almost double my age on me. Let's see, what else? I'm saying you're falling through the gaps. You're still making the same amens. You're putting their frame doth defend. You're putting your tits out there, and your image is nothing to conceive into. You're not the follow through. So so you're using an image, and then who wants to speak on you is also frame and doffed in their follow through. So So what I see is where I was trying in my 2D performance art to put my mind and my body together and handle every sort of systematic dynamic of connection to get it into the marketplace, design, manufactured, model, distributed by myself, and then also doing the graphic art and photography at times. And then putting it in venues, watching the feedback with being present. uh, um, I'm seeing in the competitive marketplace, ea.ven, you've got people writing for no reason, people responding for no reason, then you got the image makers and breakers. You know, you're not the reception, you know, you haven't thought it through. I'm trying to get it there. I don't want to be underwritten in command. Okay, com-man-d, doft, fanned, hyphened. Okay, dead again. You know, if your thinking is better than mine for a reason and as desire in life, even bring it to the TL, time and line. Okay, the total loss, time and line. Okay. I can tell you my yeast factor. I have engineered a dough hand. I'm writing to me. I'm writing to the tomb of Jesus Christ. G-S-U-S. C H-R. The ho you are is T. It's the time. Okay. And I can see who's marking in it and who's not. All right. And then I can see the associations. So it's kind of weird. Okay. But please understand that it's a working, valid parallax. Okay. The things I'm getting pissed off about is I'm like, I have to tote this thing based on what I hear and there's no one there. Okay. You know, that's bullshit. And I see you being very stable and comfortable in your income, and I'm like, that's stable bullshit. Okay.